Hi y'all, Dustin here to lead you in a Tapas practice focused today around heat creation on the element of fire. So what you'll need for today, a block or a block-like item, an item that you'll be able to use to support some weight pressed through hands, and also an item that has 4 inches of width in one of its dimensions, so that you can easily use this between your thighs in a bridge posture, which we'll get to later. You'll also need a strap or a long towel. Obviously, anything that you're able to use that has the length of 4, 5, 6 feet should be sufficient. We'll use it around our feet at some point during practice. So your ability to use a towel, a shirt, the belt from a robe, all of those things, or a regular belt, as long as you're not creating any situations where a metal buckle or some other hard plastic piece might pinch against your skin. And I'd also like y'all to have a blanket or a towel, something that you can fold over to create, on the one hand, a lift of about 3 inches. If you were to lay it down, the height on the far edge would be about that. And on the other hand, something that if you would like to cover yourself after practice is over, you'd be able to use it for that as well. So all of those things being said, of course it's always handy to have water. All right, set these things aside and we'll get started. We'll actually start in crocodile pose, crocodile position, or relaxed crocodile pose. So you will come to your belly. Lay the palm of one hand on the back of another hand with your arms extended in front of you so that you're able to bring your forehead to rest on your hands in a way that doesn't smash your nose against your mat and creates relaxation and support while also creating pressure your upper abdominal region, the region that corresponds with your solar plexus chakra. On the ventral side of your body, the front side, we'll focus a lot of our energy and our attention there throughout practice, as well as the corresponding portion of your body on your ventral side, your dorsal side, excuse me. Your lumbodorsal hinge, this is the area of your spine where your lowest ribs start to branch out. This roughly corresponds to your solar plexus area as well. Now, bring your toes under, and in this position, we'll start on the left side, since my left foot is closer to the camera here. No other real reason here. Take a breath in and extend your left heel away. Stretch the back of your left leg as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, relax that. Inhale, right side, stretch. Right heel away, pressing your right toes into the mat, loving the length. Exhale to ease. 2 more on each side. Back to the left. And to the right. One final time on each side individually. And then, both sides at the same time, a final pulse Heels move, breath moves in. And relax your legs, your knees, the tops of your feet down, extend your toes. And move breath through the upper abdominal region of your belly, into your mid-back. So focus as to the direction, the location of your breath, but generally allow your breath to be fairly easy here, full and relaxed. Sensation of spreading, widening across your lumbar dorsal hinge. Two more breaths here. Your last breath, press back to child's pose. Send your seat back, knees as wide as the mat, feet in toward one another so that your big toes or your big toe mounds are close, if not touching. Extend your arms out in front of you so you're long through your spine here. Take a few breaths in your child's pose. On your next exhale, walk your hands over to the left so you're lengthening your right side body all the way from your right fingertips, maybe your right pinky, down to your right hip crease. Make sure that your right hip isn't lifting up to follow you over toward the left. By dropping the right hip back, you're ensuring the sensation of length extends all the way down your side body. 3 breaths here. Your third breath, come back to center, and on your next exhale, take your hands over to the right side. And the same action and length, your left side body to your left hip crease. And then move 3 breaths into the posture. After your third breath, come back to center. Come up to 4 post, a hand and knee position. And from here, let's take 3 rounds of cat-cows. Start at a neutral with your hands underneath your shoulders, elbows soft, knees underneath your hips. Toes can be under, they can be extended, whatever is most comfortable. On an inhale, drop your belly, lengthen your spine, look up. Exhale, bring your chin in, press your mid back up toward the ceiling, draw your belly in. 2 more rounds on your own breath. position, the back bend position. Gently draw your belly button up toward your spine, so your abdominal muscles are still supporting you in this movement early in practice. Then come back to neutral. And we'll take a preparatory twist called thread the needle. So start by keeping your right hand and both knees on the mat. Take your left hand out to the side, breathe in. As you breathe out, bring your left arm through. Your left shoulder down, left side of your head to the mat. So you're using gravity to compress into your left shoulder. And your right hand can stay here, or you can walk it forward. Pressing into your right hand to create a little bit more of the twisting action. Reorient your hips so they're lined up. Tendency is for your hips to shift as you move into this twist. Take 3 breaths here. Ready? Ease yourself out from that posture. Come back to 4 post and take the same needle threading posture on the other side. So your right arm will extend to the side. On the exhale, bring your right arm under and through. Right ear down. Left hand stays here or comes forward. Set your posture up and move 3 breaths through. Ready, after your final breath, come back to your 4 post. And we'll transition to plank. First, in your 4 post, scoot a little further forward so you're fully on your mat set up for plank pose. Lift your fingers off of the mat, spread them away from the center of your hand, and then lay them back down so your hands are a wide grounding surface. Then press through index knuckle, pinky knuckle, then your thumb mound and pinky mound, these 4 corners of your hands, so that there's a little bit of tenting action in the center of your palm. Then step back to plank pose. And we'll do 3 rounds of heel lifts here in plank. Take a breath in. Exhale, lift left heel. Stretch your heel back. Inhale, lower. Exhale, right heel lifts, lengthens. 2 more rounds. Inhale, lower. Exhale, left. Inhale, lower. Exhale, right. Last one. Lower. Lift left. Lower. Right. Lower. Exhale, press back to downward facing dog. Take your feet as wide as your mat. Now, you don't need to make contact with your heels in the ground, but do drop your heels toward the ground. Don't create a lot of struggle there, but do create length. Lengthening action on the backs of your legs. Press your hands down and forward so that you lengthen your side bodies. Both sides of your torso toward your hips. A little bit longer And breathe 3 breaths into your belly here. After your 3rd breath, come to your back. Grab your block and your strap and your blanket or towel. Make sure all of those things are handy for you. And we'll take big toe pose. So come to your back, grab your strap. We'll start on the left side again because my left leg is closer to the camera. There's no particular reason why you would start with one side versus the other, at least not today. So lengthen your left leg up toward the ceiling. Your right leg can be straightened out or bent so that the right sole of your, or the sole of your right foot is on the mat. Whatever's going to allow you to feel stable and stay grounded in your right hip, that's the appropriate option to take. And feel free to bring your blanket or your block over to your left side. We will extend your left leg out to the side, and you may find it helpful to have some props over here to support your leg. And take a deep breath in and lower your left leg out as far as you're able, while keeping contact between your right hip and the floor. And feel free to use, as I am right now, props to support you here. But as you come into your big toe pose, your extension, there are 3 elements of the posture to pay attention to. First, you're extending your left heel gently away from your pelvis. 2, flexing your toes back. And 3, kind of gentle turning of your abdomen away from your left leg so that your left leg is extending in one direction and your belly is extending gently, slightly in the opposite direction. From here, take 3 full breaths. This is a posture we'll recreate in a standing position later in the class. Keep that in mind. After your 3rd breath here, gently guide your left foot back up and switch feet with the strap. If you're using props, or if you'd like to try using props on this side, make sure to move those over so that they're convenient. And once you've got yourself set up, inhale to lower your right leg out to the side, grounded through your left hip. You can even bring your left hand to your left hip just to create that sense of grounding. And come back to your 3 elements. Lengthening inner seam of your right leg by energetically extending your right heel away from your pelvis. Secondly, flexing your toe, big toe in particular. Thirdly, tractioning belly to the left this time. And then move 3 breaths. As you're ready, after the 3rd exhale, bring your right leg back up. Remove the strap, set it to the side. Grab your block, and first pull your knees in. Re-neutralize, rock left and right across your lower back a bit. Then set your feet down. Take the block on its narrowest setting between your thighs Make sure it's between thigh muscle and tissue and not between your knees or your shins. Everything stays where it is right now. This is a subtler abdominal exercise we'll take here. Take a breath in, fill your belly with air. Hold the breath, gently squeeze the block, set your sacrum so that it's in contact with the mat. Then exhale, pull belly in. Drawing belly toward your spine and up into your rib cage. Inhale to ease everything. Hold, squeeze, set your sacrum, exhale, belly in. 2 more rounds. After your last round, take a breath in neutral. Let it out. Now, bring your hands behind your neck, intertwine your fingers. You'll lift your head and your shoulders to a hover. You can do this if you have neck trouble. Know that you can come down with your head and shoulders in between rounds. You can also use a blanket or a towel on a very low setting just to offer you a little bit of support here so that you're not having to go down quite so far or you're not having to lift your head all the time. The purpose of your head being lifted is just to keep your ribs in. It's not about using any of the musculature in your neck to support yourself. But from whatever your lifted position is, bring your feet up. We'll take 4 rounds here. Same movement, just in a slightly different position. Breath in. Hold the breath, squeeze the block, and set your lower back. Exhale, pull belly in. 3 more rounds. Your 3rd round, set your feet and your head down for a moment, take a breath, and come back up to the same position. The addition this time is a twist. So take a breath in here, hold the breath, rotate your sternum toward your left thigh. You can let your left elbow kind of prop in a little bit here just so you're twisted in your ribs. Exhale, pull belly in. Inhale to center. Hold, rotate sternum toward the right thigh. Exhale, belly draws down. 3 more rounds on both sides. Come back to center. Hold, rotate. Exhale, pull in. Center. Hold, rotate right. Exhale, draw belly in. Discrete movements here. Come back to center, breathe in, hold the breath, then rotate to the left. Once you're set up, exhale, pull belly in. Center, hold and squeeze, rotate right, exhale, belly in. Last round. Come back, set your feet down, your head and your shoulders down. Keep the block where it is. Press into your heel centers. Gently squeeze the block, take a breath in. Exhale, lift your hips for bridge. Keep squeezing the block, pressing into your heels. Take 4 breaths here. ready after your last breath, lower your hips, remove the block, draw your knees in toward your chest and rock left to right across your lower back a few times. Now, grab your blanket, fold it over, or fold whatever you're using, however many times you need to get this 3.5 inch edge of height. Take an iteration of bridge that's passive. So you'll arrange yourself so that your hips, your pelvis itself, is on the bolster or the block or the blanket. You can combine these things if you need more height. From here, just extend your legs. You'll be letting the blanket or the prop lift your pelvis up gently. Again, if you would like it to be higher, feel free to combine your block and a blanket, for instance. Bringing the blanket with fewer folds, probably, on top of the block. Setting it underneath. And take your legs out. Now, this shouldn't be uncomfortable, shouldn't be painful. So find a version that works. Now here, just take a few breaths. Let's say 3 or 4. On your exhale, draw your belly toward your spine and up into your rib cage gently. Same abdominal movement we've been doing. Relax it and breathe in. Exhale to pull in, but more gentle. Just elongating your psoas. Deep abdominal flexor muscle. After your last round, bend your knees, bring your feet to the mat. Press down into your feet. Carefully lift up, slide your props out of the way. Once again, draw your knees in toward your chest. Rock left to right a few times on your lower back. And then rock forward and backward a few times to come to a high plank posture. And from here, ground through your toe mounds, your toe beds on both feet into your hands. Draw your belly up a little bit. Breathe in. Send your hips back. Press your hands to breathe in. On your exhale, walk your feet forward. Come to the front of your mat. Take a half lift here. And fold. Come up to mountain. Hands to chest center. Okay, now standing side bends. We'll start by lengthening out the right side of your body. So from here, take goalpost. On an inhale, press your right foot, lengthen up and bend over to your left. I'm not interested in depth here. We're after a lengthening. So just press into your right foot and move up and slightly over on your right side body. Keep your ribs in a little bit and move 3 breaths. In. Exhale back to center. Inhale over to the right. Lengthen left side body. Press left heel down. Your last breath, come back to center. Let your arms come to your sides in a relaxed fashion. Palms open forward, knees soft. spacious, kind of floating quality to your joints and your posture, your spine. Take a breath here. Inhale, reach up. Fold forward. Half lift. And step back to high plank. From your high plank, breathe in, press your hands and feet. Exhale, lower all the way down. Take a space. Set your feet wide. Bring your forearms down in contact with the mat so that your elbows are set up underneath your shoulders or slightly in front, not behind. And press your arms down to traction your spine. Turn on your legs. And move into the supported traction, lengthening back bend for 2 breaths, into belly in particular. Sphinx creates a lot of good contact between abdomen and ground as you breathe. On your second exhale, lower down, press back to downward facing dog. Now re-lengthen on your lower back. Bring your heels down toward the mat, maybe bike pedal in the way that I'm doing. Then come to neutral, breathe in. Exhale to walk forward. Half lift. And fold. Come up to mountain. Hands at your sides. Breathe in, reach up. Exhale, chair. 2 breaths here. Inhale to mountain. Fold. Half lift. Step your left foot back, bring your left knee down. Come into a lunge. So everything from squared off to a deeper lunge, all of these things are fine. Feel free to bring your mat underneath your left knee here or your blanket. Any other prop to support your knee there in that contact. Bring your arms up and either stay in this upright position, letting your leg create a little bit of a forward tilt in your pelvis, or lengthen up and open your chest to take a back bend. Keep pressing through your left lower leg and your right foot. Take 5 breaths here. Drawing your belly in as you breathe out gently. Same way we did in abdominal work and in our extended supported bridge. Ease yourself out after your last breath. Come to warrior 2. Right foot stays more or less where it is, toes pointed forward. Left foot steps back. Heels are in a line, left foot's perpendicular. Left knee is long, but not locked out. Take your arms out to your sides. 2 breaths here. Breath in. Exhale into triangle. Lengthen your right leg out. Come forward, long triangle here. So we're not interested in this deep triangle where you're bringing your right hand into contact with the ground or close to the ground. Rather, keep your right hand on your right thigh, maybe on your right knee, right shin, but stay long on left side body. Take your gaze down to your right foot. We're essentially recreating your big toe posture, the posture we use the strap for on your back here. So same elements apply in a modified form. Press your right inner heel down and forward into the mat, as well as your right big toe mound. Sort of open your belly away from your right leg, so you're not rounding forward into it. 5 breaths. Fifth breath, bend into your right knee to tilt your pelvis and your torso so it's easier for you to come up here. Bring your right toes in, setting up for a straddle fold variation. So the wider you take your feet, generally speaking, the more accessible this is, although there's also generally like anatomical and habitual limits on how wide people can take their feet as well. So we are going to come into a sort of half-lifted, block-supported, twisting fold. Grab your block, bring it in front of you. Before you go down, take a little bit of a back bend, so you're lengthening your spine a bit and creating some lower back curvature. Keep that curvature as you come forward, drawing your belly up. Bring your right hand down to the block. It can be on the high setting, can be on the medium setting, can be on the low setting, but we want to approximate a half lift here. What I mean by that is, as I come forward here, the line from my tailbone to the crown of my head is more or less perpendicular with the ground rather than dropped down. That's just the version we're taking right now, especially since we're going to add a twist. So right hand to the block, left hand out to the side, breath in here. Exhale, press your right hand into the block and rotate your ribs to the left. And keep your hips from shifting. The tendency is for the right hip to shift down and over into this twist. And keep your hips stable and just rotate your rib cage. 5 breaths. After your 5th breath, ease out of the twist and switch sides. Bring your left hand to the block, right arm out to the side, breathe in. Exhale to rotate ribs. Keep pressing down and out through the outsides of each heel, pinky toe mounds, outer edge of your foot. 5 breaths in the twist here. After your last breath, ease out of the twist and soften your knees. And in fact, feel free to bend them deeply and bring your hands to your knees, but ease your way upright. And now, take your left toes out, setting up for Warrior 2 without shifting or moving through on your mat this time. Come into Warrior 2, set your feet, set your pressure. 2 breaths here. In. Exhale to triangle. Left hand comes down. So your upright big toe posture, pressing down through inner left heel, and right big toe mound. Rotating abdomen open for 5 breaths. Although feel free to take your gaze to your left foot. Softness in your right knee, your back leg knee. As you're ready, bend your left knee, lift your torso, bring your right knee down, come into your lunge on this side. Once again, feel free. Maybe it wasn't necessary on that side, on your first side, but it is underneath your right kneecap. That's true for me. Then come up. Feel free to bring your right toes, your back foot toes under, and either ground down and lengthen up, or open. 5 breaths in your crescent moon lunge variation. Exhale, ease out of your back bend if you're in one. Come to high plank, step your left foot back. Breath in, lower. Now, take a variation of locust. Bring your arms out to the side. Swept back like wings with your palms down. Bring your feet wide. Engage all the muscles in your legs and your belly. Bring your hands to cupcake position here. Fingertips on the floor. Hands will stay where they are. Legs will stay where they are. On an inhale, however, lift your torso. Lengthen your spine. 2 full breaths. In, exhale and lower, press back, downward facing dog. Pedal your feet, lengthen the backs of your legs, neutralize your lower back, then come to neutral, breathe in, exhale to walk forward, half lift, and forward. Mountain. Hands to chest center, hand out to your side. Breath here. Inhale, reach up. Sit in the chair. Weight in the heels, specifically your heel centers, down and out through your feet. Another breath. Exhale, fold. Half lift. Step your right foot back, right knee down. Crescent moon lunge again. And once again, support yourself. Lift up. Take your lengthening back bend here and move 5 breaths. Ease out. Come to warrior 2. Set your feet and your pressure. Distribute the weight. 2 breaths. In. Exhale to triangle. Grounding through inner left foot. Traction belly open. Gaze to the side or down. 5 breaths. Soften your right knee so your tailbone can direct itself more towards your right heel, and then back toward the wall behind you. Soften your left knee, lift up, straddle fold. This time, left hand down. Grab your block if you've moved it, as I have. Bring it back, and take your lengthening back bend. Soften your knees. Spine stays long as you come forward. Left hand down first, right arm out to the side. Breath in, exhale, open to the right. Keep pressing feet and your left hand as you open and move breath. Transition, bring your right hand down, ground it firmly, take your left arm out, breath, exhale to rotate left, and move 5 breaths. Come out of your twist. Soften your knees, lift all the way up. Turn your right toes toward the quote-unquote front of your mat, the part of your mat that you started practicing facing. And take triangle toward your right leg, creating the posture, setting your feet, Grounding and extending from your pelvis through the inner seam of right leg all the way through big toe mound and inner right heel, right foot arch, belly tractioning away gently, left knee soft. 4 more breaths. As you're ready, bend into right knee. Lift your torso, bring your left knee down for your crescent moon lunge. Stay, lengthen, or lengthen and open into your back bend. Continue pressing into right foot, left lower leg for 5 deep breaths. Ease out of your back bend. Bring your hands to the mat. Step your right foot back, come to high plank. Ground your feet and hands and breathe in. Exhale, lower. Hands up to your sides. Take this locust variation. The difference being this time, feel free to lift your hands up. Keep your feet down and your belly grounded. Turn on your leg muscles, pull your belly in, lift up, extend from fingertip to fingertip across chest. 2 breaths in the belly. In, exhale, lower, press back. Feet wide, send your heels down, perhaps pedal them here as well. And then come to stillness. Take a deep breath in. And as you're ready, walk your feet up toward your hands. Take a lift and fold. All the way up to mountain. Hands up to your sides. A breath here. Reach out. Sit in a chair. 2 breaths. Inhale to come up and fold forward. Lift, step back, breath in, lower, take your belly back bend, so locust or perhaps cobra or seal here. Using your hands to press for whatever your back bend. Lengthen your spine with 2 breaths. Draw belly up and lower into press back to downward facing dog. Breath in and out. On your next exhale, step your right foot forward. Warrior two. Bring your block. I'm going to take an extended side angle variation here. So from warrior two, you'll bring the block on the outside of your right foot on its highest setting, and you'll do one of two things. You'll either take your right hand flat against the block, creating this sort of side plank action from your right hand up to your left hand, or bring your right elbow to the top of your right thigh. So you're creating a line, a structural sort of line from your right heel through your right knee into your right elbow and then up all the way to left hand. In either case, take your gaze down, soften your left knee a little bit, press down and back through left heel, 5 breaths. Breath, lift up. Come to warrior one. Step your left foot up and out slightly. So your right hip and your right foot are in line, and your left hip and your left foot are in line. So not a heel in line arrangement. That's just not the variation of warrior one that I'm teaching. Nothing wrong with the other one. From here, take your block on its highest setting, slightly in front of your right foot. Bring your left hand there, right arm out to the side. Keep your left heel down if that's comfortable. If it is not, if this is too much on your knee, lift your left heel and rotate your leg. But in either case, your left knee should be at least soft. Breathe in. Exhale, press your left hand into the block and rotate, twist toward the right. Twist. Lengthen your right leg out and come into long pyramid. Your feet stay basically in the same place. Both knees are soft, even though both legs are lengthened out. Use the block under your left hand and your right hand to your shin to create a couple kinds of movement here. Movement down and back through your left heel, lengthening backward, and then movement from your lower spine all the way through the crown of your head, lengthening forward. So kind of a halfway lift action in your upper body, grounding back through left foot. Three deep breaths here. Your third breath, either stay to the left. Move your upper body without shifting your lower body. Over maybe 15 degrees. Continue pressing down through inner right heel, big toe mound, to create a sensation line up the inside of your right leg. Whichever choice you made, 4 more breaths. Ready. If you're out to the side, come back to center. Bend into the right knee. Bring your hands to the mat. Step your right leg back. Come to high plank. Breathe in here. And either exhale to lower and take a belly back bend, or press straight back to downward facing dog. Warrior 2, left side. Step your left foot forward. Ready your block if you're using it. And set up your extended side angle variation. Using the block to create a grounding line through your arms from left hand to right, or left leg bone into knee, elbow, and upper arm. Create the same line. Gaze down, soften your right knee, press down and back through right heel. Press inner left heel, big toe mound down. Take 5 breaths. You ready? Lift up. Warrior 1. For your block assisted twist. Heels in line with your hips. Block on its tallest setting, slightly in front of your left foot. Right hand down, left arm out. Stay bent at your left knee. Soften your right, breathe in. Exhale, press your feet in opposite directions as you twist. Down and forward through left, down and back through right. Take 5 breaths. your long pyramid variation. Starting at half lift, creating plenty of length to the crown of your head all the way back with the center of your right hand. Rounding down forward through the center of your left heel. Stay or walk your torso in 15 degrees. Continue pressing. This time, if you're moving out to the side, through inner seam, left heel, big toe mound. Keep pressing back through right heel. For 4 breaths. Center, bend into left knee, come to high plank. Press your hands, your feet, and breathe in. Exhale, come back to downward facing dog. Pedal and lengthen. To half pigeon or a half pigeon variation. So, classic half pigeon, you bring your right leg forward, extend your left leg, and come forward as much as makes sense. Or, take the recline variation. With your left foot remaining on the ground. You can also lift it. Bring your hands behind your left thigh, or set your left foot, if it's convenient, against the wall. Take your variation. And move 6 or 7 breaths. As you're ready, if you're in reclined half pigeon, simply switch your leg cross and take reclined half pigeon on the other side, crossing the left ankle over the top of right thigh. If you're in classic half pigeon, send yourself back, move your left leg forward, and come in. Half pigeon is designed to create sensation. The outside of your thigh, your front thigh, and to your glute. It is not designed to create intense sensation in your knee. So if you're experiencing that Perhaps try a recline variation instead. Get the benefits without creating injury or stress. Take 3 more breaths here. And as you're ready, and if you're not already on your back, make your way there and take a supine twist. Cross your right leg over your left, back of right thigh on top of left thigh, then move your hips over to the right, drop your knees to the left, point your tailbone toward your knees. Take 5 breaths there. As you're ready to shift to the other side, gently come back through center, switch your setup, and drop in. Ready to move out on this side. Gently lift, uncross, recenter. Draw your knees in towards your chest, cannonball style. And rock gently left and right. Cross your lower back. And extend your legs. Set up for your corpse pose. Let your toes fall out. Bring your arms to your sides. Palms turned up toward the ceiling. And close your eyes. Allow your weight to drop into the floor beneath you, into your mat. Accept the support. Take a deep breath in with your eyes closed. Release it. And rest.
rough. Small movements. And then come back to stillness. Keeping your eyes closed, either roll to one side and then slowly press your way up over the course of 4 or 5 breaths. Or just skip the middleman and in whatever way seems appropriate, make your way to a seated position. Spine long, hands at rest on your thighs or knees. Crown of your head drawn up toward the ceiling, your chin down, slightly in. Well grounded through your base, your seat. Spacious and stable through your spine. Take a moment to absorb your practice and acknowledge yourself for the care with which you've moved for the last hour and change. Take a deep breath in together. And release it. And slowly open your eyes. And that's our practice.